Sparkling Aura removes Sableye from the field of play, and it's all down to Hypno to clean up. Hypno hits the field of play, gets a massive confusion farm down, back out comes G-Weezy. Carrera instantly no shield. The opponent might have a super effective charge move. Hypno far too bulky. Welcome back to their channel, and today we are taking a look at a blast from the past, Hypno Double Dark. This strategy and team composition first rose to popularity thanks to fellow content creator here on the YouTube platform, Vergy. Way back in them early seasons, I'm talking like season 3 or season 4, Vergy was able to slice his way through the Great League meta with this ABB strategy. Unfortunately, as the meta progressed, Hypno very much fell down the meta as numerous dark types, numerous ghost types, and just things that made Hypno's life miserable come into the meta, giving it very little play. Hypno has a wide variety of charge moves and a very respectable stat product. Every single season we get a move update, both myself and today's featured battler, the Carrera GT, always hope for Hypno buffs, and what we normally receive are more counters to Hypno. If we talk about just the most recent season of the Go Battle League, Feraligatr gained access to Shadow Claw and Drapion received not one but 2 buffs with Poison Sting and Aqua Tail respectively, both doing more damage. Season 22's meta looks a lot more promising for Hypno. Firstly, Feraligatr has been replaced on a lot of teams with either Blastoise or Lapras, two things that Hypno does very well into. Drapion usage is down with people opting for other poison types such as Galarian Weezing, which actually takes super effective rather than single resisted from our oppressive quick move of Confusion. Hypno also has access to psyshock, which recently got buffed, which is obtainable by an elite TM. Today we're going to be using Sableye as our save switch, looking to bait out any potential fairy types, and we're going to be using the buffed variant of Cacturne in the closer position. Without any further ado, let's get into the battle. And right off the bat, Hypno finds itself in a dreadful matchup. Malamar able to triple resist Psychic due to its Dark and Psychic typing. We save switch into Sableye, the opponent fire off the foul play, force him chip into action and send out Drapion. Drapion greeted with the Play Rough, rocking them below half health. Drapion going to return fire with the Aqua Tail, which isn't lethal, and they're able to Poison Sting farm us all the way down. So far, this team comp has left Hypno with nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. The Carrera sends out Cacturne. Cacturne going to shield at the crunch. Yes, that's resisted, but if you've never used Cacturne, trust me when I say it, this thing cannot tank a hit to save its life. The Carrera able to get a massive resisted Sucker Punch farm down, but already finds himself below half health. Out comes Cradilly. The Carrera looks to sneak the Dynamic Punch through 2 protections. The opponent shows no respect. Oh baby, it looks like Shadow Cacturne is the get out of jail free card. Back out comes Malamar. We fire off the Trailblaze, vamping up our attack, and these Psycho Cuts are double resisted. The opponent fires off the foul play bait, but no bait will be saving this opponent's fate. We're able to fully Sucker Punch farm down. 1 Bullet Seed takes us out, but Hypno comes in, gives the opponent a cheeky slap, aka Confusion, and we take that game. In the next battle, it's our turn to hard win lead. Shadow Machoke. What a pick. I've actually got a showcase of this thing coming up. And this is actually the highest ranked Shadow fighter. Can you believe it? That thing is ranked higher than both Annihilate and Primeape. Is it better? Well, there's only one way to find out. We're going to have to take a little sneak peek. As always, I've got myself massively distracted. So returning to the commentary, out comes Gator. We answer the Gator save switch with Cacturne. We exchange Protect Shields and leave boosted. Back out comes Machoke. And I think Machoke's going to be straight in and straight out. Boosted Trailblaze picks up the one shot. Out comes Clodsire. And this is going to be game over without even revealing our third. The opponent running ABA weak to Psychic. And we have an oppressive Shadow Confusion user. The opponent falls in the Earthquake, but Hypno does not care. The Carrera farms up to the double psyshock. You know the drill. The first one draws the Protect Shield, and the second one is going to be all she wrote with Sableye getting a well-deserved rest on the bench. GG's, and thanks for playing. We are only 2 battles in, and I am thoroughly enjoying myself. In the next battle, we see Hypno into Alolan Ninetales. The opponent opting for Powder Snow. Another buff Pokemon, and now only take 7 Powder Snows to that Dazzling Gleam. Hypno can survive any one move. I'm going to anticipate the Carrera mostly saving shields for Cacturne. I doubt Hypno is going to get any Protect Shield unless we really need to, perhaps in the endgame scenario, as Hypno is without a doubt the bulkiest member of the team. Oh boy, the opponent ends up getting greedy, and now they're forced to burn both Protect Shields just to remove Hypno from the field of play. The Carrera are going to say, Hypno, thank you very much for your contribution, and send out Sableye with a 2-0 shield advantage. The opponent absolutely loaded on energy, looking to force some shields back. We are going to respect a potential Dazzling Gleam. The opponent go for the Weather Ball bait, which means this should only be another Weather Ball. The Carrera knows it, willing to tank one. Weather Ball doesn't do too much damage, and Sableye is going to get a very nice Shadow Claw farm down, leaving with residual energy good to go. Out comes Jellicent with no shields to hold beyond. Come on, trainer, this cannot be your best answer for an energy lead Sableye. The first foul play rocks the opponent. Below half health, the Carrera overfarms, fires off the next foul play, removing this jellyfish from the field of play. Is Swampert in the back, the Carrera going to commit to the Dazzling Gleam. Dazzling Gleam is the hard hitting move, so if you're only going to reach one, you may as well full send it. The Carrera sends out Cacturne, one sucker punch, knocks out Swampert, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle. We see Lapras in the lead. No matter where the team see Lapras, we're in a good spot. The Carrera wisely pivots into Sableye, checking for that fairy type, and as if by magic, Wigglytuff hits the field of play. The Carrera running a standard ABB team where we are double weak to fairy in the back. So the idea of the team is always safe switch into Sableye in neutral situations, check for a fairy type, hoping to clear the path for Cacturne to sweep up. If you manage to bait a fairy type out, you can just send out Hypno, look to absorb the energy, confusion farm all the way down, and hope Cacturne can clean up. Oof, in this scenario, it hasn't quite worked out for us. Despite managing to bait out the fairy type, there's a Draper in the back, something else Cacturne doesn't particularly want to see. We are able to force ourselves a shield advantage. The Carrera happy to shield up a crunch, but unfortunately we are going to get outpaced as Draper is so incredibly spammy. The Carrera going to put all his hopes and dreams onto Hypno, hoping we can clean up, but unfortunately Hypno has hardly any HP. The Carrera recognises this is an unwinnable game, going to tank the charge move, and we're going to move swiftly on. GG's to that opponent, despite running that ever-annoying Marshmallow. Heading into the next battle. We once again find a very problematic lead. Last time the Carrera was able to overcome this lead. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2. The opponent looking to stay in. I anticipate going for some chip and nip action. To my surprise, the opponent continued to stay in. So you can read this one of two ways. The opponent has no answer for Sableye or have another very hard check for our Hypno. I like how the Carrera played that. Full send the Dazzling Gleam, guarantee the knockout or force that Protect Shield. Foul play has been reworked this season, only hits Malamar for neutral and would not have got the knockout. The Carrera, once again, full sends the Gleam and the opponent's going to be unable to psywave farm us down. The Carrera obtains himself a shield advantage. The opponent fire off the superpower, removing us from the field of play. The opponent sends out Dugong, and here comes Hypno. Oh baby, it is Focus Blast time. Come on Hypno, you are so slow, so clunky. Get there, we do get there, but lose CMP. Bloody hell Hypno, you had one job, one singular job. The Carrera once again tasking Cacturne with the heavy lifting. Cacturne getting torn apart by the ice shards. Gonna dump a Trailblaze, vamping up our attack. Show us something with no fast move pressure. Ask, and you shall receive. Out comes Cradilly. Cradilly gonna be straight in and straight out. Dynamic Punch picks up the one shot. Cacturne once again absolutely popping off, and we take that game. I'd say we're at about the halfway point. I'd say Hypno, playable. Cacturne, a monster. We see a dreadful lead. We say switch into Sableye, and out comes Typhlosion. Typhlosion instantly going to put up that Protect Shield, blocking up the incoming foul play. As we've got an energy lead, this matchup is greatly improved. As Sableye is now only 5 Shadow Claws to each foul play, meaning we're going to be able to force both Protect Shields here in the mid-game matchup. The opponent actually happy to give up switch advantage to my surprise. Oh, actually, that makes sense. The opponent very strong into Hypno. Poor old Hypno not finding its targets. We're going to send out Hypno to operate as the damage sponge. The opponent fire off the play rough. They then send out Mighty and we're stuck in the confusion animation and almost get sniped. The Carrera saves Hypno, sends out Cacturne, but this looks an incredibly tough game to win. How do we win this game? We need to get him into range where a double resisted psyshock knocks out. Is that psyshock range? I'm going to say no, but it's shadow on shadow crime, so potentially. Come on, Hypno. Although I guess even if we knock him out, we probably get Fairy Wind farm down. The psyshock isn't lethal. We get Sucker Punch farm down and take a heartbreaking loss. But shout out that opponent running a very cool triple shadow team. Heading into the next battle. This time Hypno finds its target. The opponent say switch into Sableye and we send out Cacturne. We are going to see the shield deployed, correctly shielding up the Gleam. That is a huge Protect Shield. We're then able to fully Sucker Punch farm down, leaving with all the energy in the world, although this energy isn't going to go particularly far into that Galarian Weezing. Trailblaze, going to be resisted. Dynamic Punch, actually going to be double resisted. Although, to be fair, this Trailblaze might actually pull a shield, as it would potentially knock out, as it is double boosted. The opponent obliges, putting up that protection. We send out Hypno. The opponent pivots out into Lapras, and we have the perfect alignment. Sableye can tank any one move, and the psywaves are going to be double resisted. The opponent fire off the Sparkling Aura. Sableye going to farm up to the double foul play. The first foul play goes unshielded. Sableye opts not to throw. Instead, we're just going to send out Hypno and look to confusion farm down. Down goes Sableye. Hypno hits the field of play. The opponent desperately looking to reach a charge move, unable to get there. Back out comes G-Weezy, and we see the instant no shield deployed. Brutal Swing might be super effective, but Hypno far too tick, far too bulky, able to tank the damage, confusion farm down, and we take that game. Heading into the next battle, we see Cradilly in the lead. A neutral matchup, but despite this, Carrera going to be safe switching into his first dark type, looking for any potential fairy. I'm not sure that's the counter swap you are looking for, trainer. The opponent sends out Dust Noir, fire off the Shadow Punch. Sableye holds strong, fires off the foul play, forcing the opponent's first Protect Shield. Sableye now only taking 5 quick moves to each foul play, able to outpace to the next foul play. The opponent double shields and lose switch. Oof. My, that mid-game matchup went awful for the opponent. Cacturne hits the field of play with 2 to no shield advantage. The opponent fire off the Rock Tomb and continue to stay in. If they had no answer for the first dark type, I'm going to anticipate no answer for this one either. The opponent now forces 2 debuffs on Cacturne's attack, but we're very quickly going to vamp it up and we're going to leave at -1. Cacturne has a monstrous attack, so we could bank this charge move and win CMP in the endgame. Out comes Guzzlord. The -1 Dynamic Punch almost knocks out. We attempt to Sucker Punch farm down, unfortunately unable to get it. But this Guzzlord is so low that I'm anticipating 1 double resisted confusion to knock him out, and it does, and Hypno is a Guzzlord counter confirmed. That is very much a joke, but it worked out for us. GG's that opponent. Heading into the next battle, we see public enemy number 1, that stupid brick wall Bastiodon. So for those of you that don't know, the Carrera is part of my Discord moderator team over on the Shadow Hub. I hate this Pokemon so much. If the Carrera loses this battle, I might potentially drop his privileges and revert him back to a normal member. That is a joke. Or is it a joke? I'm not actually sure at this point. Just don't bloody lose to this brick wall, the Carrera. In the Carrera, I believe. We soft lose to Wallface. We send out Cacturne. Cacturne unable to Sucker Punch farm down before the Flamethrower is reached. We give up a Protect Shield but leave with all the energy in the world. Out comes Air Slash Tropius. No. I think we're actually going to lose to Grasshole. We fire off the Dynamic Punch that is resisted but does do a lot. And out comes Swampert. Okay, we've got a chance here. I'm going to say a chance, but this looks pretty dreadful. The opponent's still hanging on to 2 Protect Shields. How do we get them off this opponent? The Carrera overfarms, fires off the psyshock, forcing the opponent's first Protect Shield. The opponent then gets greedy, allowing us to reach the second psyshock. Just like that, the opponent finds himself all shields down. We've already seen that Dynamic Punch, single resisted, did do a lot to Tropius. The Carrera sends out Cacturne. I believe the opponent's got a charge move bank, so they could wombo combo us here. Back out comes Tropius. No! Oh. I'm not really going to remove your privileges, buddy. You are one of the best moderators and a very valued member of the community. Heading into the next battle, we see Scrafty in the lead. My. We are not seeing too many advantageous leads with Hypno. We save switch into Sableye, fire off the foul play, forces the opponent's first protection. The opponent enables us to reach foul play number 2, and just like that, once again, we see a dire lead, but Sableye puts in so much work in this safe switch position. We have got a 2 to no shield advantage, which potentially opens up the door for us to Dynamic Punch that Scrafty to the face, but Scrafty is a huge problem for us. Potentially we could even Focus Blast them. The opponent, oh boy, sends out a Azumarill. Cacturne hits the field of play. Cacturne instantly going to give up that Protect Shield, blocking up the Ice Beam. The Carrera going to go straight for the Trailblaze, recognising it won't quite be lethal, but will enable us to farm down afterwards. Cacturne does get that resisted. Sucker Punch farm down, back out. Comes Talonflame. Talonflame unable to reach a charge move. We leave with the Dynamic Punch locked and loaded. Hi Scrafty, bye Scrafty. Pull your bloody trousers up and we take that game. What a dub. Heading into the next battle. You've got to be kidding me. Their tough leads are unrelenting. Hypno into Chargeab. We save switch into Shadow Sableye and out comes Drapion. This is Shadow on Shadow Crime, but a crunch is survival from here. The Carrera knows it, tanks the damage, then looks to return fire with the Gleam. Gleam obtains us a shield advantage and the opponent is going to be forced to throw. It looks like the Carrera happy to invest the protection on this low health Sableye, knowing he's going to be able to reach the Gleam before the opponent resisted Poison Sting farm us down. The opponent going to go all in on Drapion, shield up the next Gleam and get a very nice Poison Sting farm down. The Carrera sends out Hypno, just use it as the damage sponge. Once again, tasking Cacturne with all the heavy lifting. I'm really not entirely sure how we're going to get rid of that Chargeab. We're going to shield up the crunch. The opponent sends out Cradilly. We farm up, throw the Dynamic Punch on the CMP time, maximising our farm. Dynamic Punch picks up the knockout. Back out comes Chargeab. We're going to fire off the Trailblaze. Trailblaze won't be lethal and is going to get him down to half health. We then attempt to make a catch onto Hypno. The catch attempt is unsuccessful, but the opponent is going to be forced to throw. Can we Sucker Punch farm down everything? The opponent's already at another charge move. Valiant attempt, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. The opponent ABA strong into Hypno, once again giving it nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. Heading into the next battle. We see the Kentucky Fried Chicken, Bird of Death in the lead position. Again, we're going to utilise Shadow Sableye on the save switch. The Carrera could have fired off a foul play that wouldn't have been lethal. It looks like he's looking to fake a power gem. Some Shadow Sableye, including Homeslice Henry, featured it this season, still running power gems. We could potentially force a shield back. Foul play does force that protect shield. Sableye going to reach one further foul play. Foul play forces the opponent's final protect shield. The opponent gets a massive Incinerate farm down. Hypno is going to be sent out to do what Hypno does best and absorb energy. The opponent once again going to fire off a Flame Charge, vamping up their attack. Hypno looks for the Confusion farm down, but clunky old Confusion doesn't get the job done. We do at least put them in a range where one Sucker Punch will be lethal. The opponent sends out more Peko, goes straight for a Psychic Fangs, which is non-stab and double resisted. A very, very strange play indeed. Speaking of resisted, did someone forget to tell Morpeko that Dark resists itself as these Sucker Punch are doing crazy damage? We overfarm, fire off the Trailblaze, removing them from the field of play. Out comes Superior to make a very brief cameo appearance. The boosted Dynamic Punch gonna pick up the one shot and we take that game. Once again, Cacturne putting the team on its back. GG's. Heading into the final battle of today's video, and we've got time for Hypno to lose one further lead. We see Gator, we save switch into Sableye, baiting out more Peko. Dazzling Gleam, of course, would hit for super effective in this matchup. If he's still on the old moveset of Power Gem, don't worry, this thing's insanely glassy and a Power Gem pretty much gets the job done. The Carrera baits with the foul play, able to force a protect shield. The Carrera recognises if we force a settle for a foul play, as if we committed to the Dazzling Gleam, would get there on CMP, and that is not a charge attack priority, we will be winning. The opponent overfarms as much as they physically can, but they've found themselves on a fraction of HP. The Carrera sends out Cacturne. Cacturne gets a one Sucker Punch, running start, and out comes Pikachu Libre. Look at the spice from the opponent, but Pikachu, little buddy, where is your defense? The opponent fire off the Flying Press. The opponent recognise they're going to get Sucker Punch farm down, pivot into Gator. The Carrera banks all of his energy, sends out Hypno. Hypno able to tank a Hydro Cannon. The opponent going to be unable to Shadow Claw farm us down, so they're forced to dump a charge move. Hydro Cannon picks up the knockout. The Carrera sends out Cacturne. Cacturne Sucker Punch farms down Gator. Pikachu would also fall victim of that Sucker Punch beat down, so the opponent concedes the match. GG's. And that is just about going to wrap things up for today's shoutcast of a throwback team of Hypno Double Dark from one of my Discord moderators, the Carrera GT. That was incredibly fun. I'll be honest, Hypno, despite having more targets in this meta and actually resisting the common quick moves of stuff like psywave, it still didn't look particularly good. I'm sorry, the Carrera. I'm just saying it as I see it. However, the two dark types, Shadow Sableye, I've featured it this season already. It is without a doubt my personal favourite safe switch, an absolute monster, but the undeniable star of the show was Shadow Cacturne. I think that was like 4 or 5 times. It put the whole team on its back and swept the entire team. The thing is an insane glass cannon, but give it an inch and it will take a mile. Wow, what a phenomenal powerhouse. So enjoying the content, smash that like button if you're new, consider subscribing if you like your battles featured on my channel, like the Carrera did. My battle submission form is linked down below. And as always, a huge thanks to everyone for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one.